So the stories of impact of climate change can become much more believable now.
Hey everyone, it's been 2 months since we launched the podcast, and it has been our consistent effort to bring the most knowledgeable and inspiring people working in the environment or sustainability sector as guests on the Recycle Rise podcast. Today's guest is from an organization we must have all heard inspiring stories from about how organizations run, its values, and what ideal leaders look like. And one such leader is Mr. Anirban Ghosh, the Chief Sustainability Officer with the Mahindra Group. He has built a strategic approach to corporate social responsibility, initiates award-winning projects in water conservation, road safety, agricultural productivity enhancement, helped double the per capita income of beneficiaries of water conservation. Mr. Ghosh has been recognized as the Distinguished Chief Sustainability Officer, the top 100 CSR professionals on a global listing, over 2 decades with Mahindra and Mahindra. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you about Mahindra as an organization, that it stands for values and legacies, like I just spoke in the introduction. You're also a leader in several business segments like utility vehicles, farm equipment. In this context of sustainability, how is it leading from the front and inspiring other organizations?
When we do work in any area, including that of sustainability, the questions that drive us is what is the right thing to do and how much can be done so that whatever work we do has some sort of impact. If it happens to inspire other people to do similar things, we are just plain fortunate. But what we do try and ensure is that the things that get done, especially in the area of sustainability, are things which any organization can pick up and do. Because if we are able to do it within our organization, it indicates that it makes business sense and it is good for the environment.
Right. Being a large conglomerate, there are multiple business verticals and each serving different markets, different customers. So, how are you enabling sustainability vision across your organization, or how are you driving that action plan?
There are a lot of commonalities in sustainability work across businesses. The Mahindra Group came up with a sustainability framework, and it is this framework that drives sustainability work across the different businesses. Some businesses find some bullet points more important for them, and some others look at other bullet points which are more important for them. But it is possible to prioritize, to set goals, to make a roadmap, and to move ahead in the field of sustainability using the Mahindra Sustainability Framework. So, the framework is a very important way in which we ensure that every business takes appropriate action. This is accompanied by sustainability dashboards, by assessments, and also by rewards and recognition programs. Together, they drive sustainability in the Mahindra Group.
Sir, from that framework, if you have to tell our listeners maybe one or two points that stand out for you, so maybe there is some learning there.
So let's look at it this way. If you wish to make a contribution to the carbon problem, if you're in a business that is a high emitter, then achieve carbon neutrality would be an important point in the sustainability framework for you. That in turn can be broken down into actions in energy efficiency, actions in renewable energy, and actions in carbon sequestration. All three of which put together can help you achieve carbon neutrality. Any organization would want its employees to be a part of the sustainability journey, contributing in a way in which they make a difference not only in the place of work but also at home. So, we have a program which is a part of the framework called Make Sustainability Personal. There are many more, but depending on your area of business, you will find ones which are useful for you.
Thank you for mentioning that. Once the interview is over, I personally will go back and look up what the Mahindra Sustainability Framework is, and I'm sure our audience also will do the same. So, sir, India is a value conscious market. customers are mostly loyalists and stick to the brand. Like if my father has purchased a Mahindra car, when it's my turn or when he has to upgrade, he will go back and see what else is same brand serving, right? Does this increase responsibility on the companies to live up to expectations of doing the right thing? How does it translate into policy and action?
This is a question that is universally relevant for any organization.
Right.
Needs consistent and responsible for its customers to keep coming back to it over and over again. The Mahindra Group, fortunately, has adopted responsible business as a way of doing things from the time it was founded, and has always tried to figure out what is the right thing to do at each stage. If you're a follower of Mr. Anand Mahindra on Twitter, every day you will get examples of how the organization tries and focuses on the right thing. And just like you can access the Mahindra Sustainability Framework, the organization's core values are also very easily seen on the internet. And you will see what the core values are. You will see the foundation of the House of Mahindra on issues like being customer centric, dignity of the individual, and all the other relevant points that we follow in our way of doing things.
Absolutely. Integrating a discussion about climate action into the vision and mission of an organization is always tricky because it says the present way of the business is not ideal. A lot more needs to be done or there needs some shift. So, being the chief sustainability officer at Mahindra, how do you address this conversation?
The vision of our organization is to be one of the top 50 most respected brands in the world. If any brand has to be respected, one of the things that it must do is focus on sustainability, focus on being responsible while doing business. So everything that we do in the area of sustainability actually contributes towards building the brand and enabling the organization to achieve its vision.
Mahindra is well in the way of doing that. Of course, leadership and management at Mahindra is exceptional. But how is your vision of sustainability adopted all across your businesses and all the people associated with the brand? How do you ensure that, an engineering thinking about a sustainable design for a car or an HR ensuring a zero waste celebration?
That is a good question. Let me just try 2 or 3 quick bullet points. Definition that we've adopted of sustainability acknowledges that businesses have always tried to be sustainable or enduring, shall we say. But the idea of what helps them endure has changed. Therefore, our definition of sustainability is to build enduring business while rejuvenating the environment and enabling stakeholders to rise. So the work that we do stems from whatever is required. Now let's take the example of an engineer making an automobile. All of us know that reducing emissions from the automobile is a critical part of rejuvenating the environment, reducing or even eliminating. So engineers in Mahindra are working all the time to reduce weight of the vehicle, to increase fuel efficiency of the vehicle, to ensure that we are compliant or better than the emission standards that have been prescribed for the business. But more than that, Mahindra was the pioneer in investing in electric vehicles in India and continues to lead the development and implementation of electric mobility in India. And we hope that we will be able to drive the transition from fossil fuel powered mobility to electric mobility and therefore help rejuvenating the environment, even as mobility and transportation for people like you and me are not affected. So this is how different parts of the organization pick up elements of the sustainability definition, find what work is relevant for them. Factories of ours are increasing energy productivity. They are becoming zero waste to landfill, as are our resorts. And therefore, every single function has something to contribute in helping Mahindra build enduring business while rejuvenating the environment and enabling stakeholders to rise.
I think it's that kind of vision that matters across all businesses and across all levels of people in the organization. Since you were just mentioning a lot about the automobile industry, Circular economy, zero waste economy, these have been a major focus in recent years, right? So
Mhm.
Mahindra is one of the early entrants in the vehicle recycling sector with Zero Recycling. So
Mhm.
bringing circularity into the end of life vehicles. So with the new scrappage policy on the cards, how do you think it will transform the industry, which is mainly dominated by the unorganized sector? And what measures should be taken to implement it successfully?
So you've mentioned both an opportunity and a challenge. We know that if we have to reduce emissions from vehicles on road, we cannot afford to have vehicles on road which are old, because the level of emissions from those vehicles are much higher.
Right.
It's not only about selling more vehicles, it is about ensuring that we have cleaner air. If you have BS6 regulations only for new vehicles, they will be a contribution for the future, but the large majority of vehicles on road will be BS2, BS3, and so on, which need to be off the road if the air has to be cleaner. Therefore, it is important that we have a scrappage policy and that these vehicles no longer ply on the road. And that's why a vehicle recycling business is very crucial. And even the players in the so called unorganized sector will be doing things in a better way going forward. The whole ecosystem, we expect, will change in the positive direction, and it will be a new opportunity for the economy to grow.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the hope. When you're saying circular economy, you want to make sure everyone who's doing their present roles will be upgraded, be in a better position, and do things which are safer and better for the environment as well.
That's right.
Mahindra Sustain is the clean arm of Mahindra Group. That is where a lot of research and innovation in sustainability happens. So, can you share with our listeners some of the fascinating updates to watch out for from Mahindra Sustain?
Mahindra Sustain is our renewable energy company. It
Mm-hmm.
sets up solar power generating stations. And there are a couple of fascinating things that they do. They figured out ways of keeping solar panels clean without using too much water. And they are also very strong proponents of something called agro PV, where the land on which the solar panels are being put is also being used for agriculture and growing crops, so that the constant fight for land from renewable energy companies goes away, where you can do both agriculture and renewable energy on the same land. And then again, if you use your water responsibly and don't put too many chemicals or soap and things into it, it is possible to use that water for irrigation as well. So there are many such innovations that Mahindra Sustain is working on, which makes renewable energy even more responsible.
Right. I've seen so many videos of solar panels and solar farms, but I've never heard agriculture being integrated into it. So that really sounds fascinating. And since we are anyway on the topic of solar energy, Mahindra Sustain has recently forayed into international markets as well, providing solar panels and solar inverters for home and commercial use. So, how green and clean is the solar energy, or do we see any drawbacks even in this renewable source?
So today, solar and wind are the cleanest forms of energy. You could even add hydroelectricity as being a very clean form of energy. The solar panels do have a life. They
Right.
are supposed to be for 25 odd years, and once they approach end of life, their ability to convert solar energy to electrical energy will go down. It's not as if they will become defunct, but their effectiveness in conversion will go down a little. So the question of recycling solar panels or refurbishing solar panels or keeping solar panels effective is something that we are going to see in the future. So while solar energy is a very clean form of energy and the way we do it now is the best that we can, we have to keep our eyes and ears open on how to lengthen the life of the solar panels that are going into operation now.
So, I mean, it's not like you can put your legs up and say, now that we have solar panels, everything's fine with the world, but we still have scope for innovation.
There is always scope for innovation. In fact, this whole problem of climate change is
Mhm.
because we are dealing with unintended consequences of technology. So even as we are trying to solve these problems, we have to be careful that we do not create more unintended negative consequences for the future.
Right. Sir, water conservation seems to be a priority across various institutions of your business. So, just even before some time when you were talking about cleaning the solar panels with water and how you want to conserve that as well. So, this summer, the pandemic has taken center stage, but otherwise, we would have heard news about loss of groundwater, dried up water bodies, etc. What are some of the specific steps taken by you to help resolve issues around water management?
One of the things about water is that it is infinitely recyclable. Yet, you know that the take, make, dispose, or take, use, dispose way of using water leads to a lot of trouble for the environment. Our water bodies get continuously polluted, and the rate at which we are polluting the water bodies seems to be increasing every day. Within the Mahindra Group, there is the farm equipment business, there are agriculture businesses, and of course, there are the resorts and IT and software and so on. Water is critical for the functioning of almost every one of them. In fact, the farm equipment business does well only when water availability is good. When it comes to industries, there are two steps to take. One is to ensure that water productivity goes up, that you can do more with less water. And second, also ensure that you are not polluting any water bodies in the course of your work. So some of the goals we've taken up include being water positive, that is harnessing more water than we consume. Also enhancing water productivity, so reducing the intake of fresh water as we go along, finding out ways to recycle and use water, which in turn will reduce the intake of fresh water. So these are some of the goals that we've taken and ensure water security at every location.
That's fantastic. So when I listen to you, I know that you're talking about specific action items of what's happening across businesses. But how best is the Indian corporate at large equipped with dealing with the most pressing problem of our time? It has to be environment and climate action.
Look at what's happening now. Who would have thought that such a large part of corporate India would be working from home? If you had done a survey 1 week before the lockdown, most people would have said that it is not possible for most industries. And it's situations like this that make the inevitable happen. We know that water is a scarce resource. We know that it can be recycled, but unless there is shortage of some kind, most industries or most organizations do not wake up to the possibility of using lesser fresh water for producing the same output. The technologies are simple, they are known to most people. It would be wise if we were to adopt productive water practices without the need of some terrible drought or terrible water emergency. But the good news is that it can be done. It's only a question of using the right incentives to make sure that people do it. So it's shortage that drives adoption and not so much the promise of greater productivity or some responsible practice. Now, I'm not sure that this will suddenly change. It will always be some shortage, some scarcity, some difficulty that will end up driving responsible behavior for the future.
Right. But I definitely hope this pandemic was a learning for a lot of us, where we are learning that we are not immune from anything. And in a global situation, anything and everything could affect us.
Oh, absolutely. It is actually given us a glimpse into what is possible. So when we go back to regular life post the lockdown, the more we adopt practices that are in harmony with nature, the better are our chances to escape the troubles of climate change going forward.
Absolutely.
So, in a sense, COVID itself is not unprecedented. Its impacts, of course, are much more widespread and definitely unprecedented. But if we are not careful, more of these things can happen in the future. And what is to say that the next virus that hits us won't be far more damaging than this one? I mean, it is inconceivable that we will be able to survive in a world which is not net neutral. So Mahindra will make a contribution. and in that process ensure that biodiversity increases, that there is greater renewable energy adoption, that the supply chain is encouraged and enabled to take responsible action, that people are treated better.
Right.
I began by saying that it will be easier to explain the negative impacts of climate change. People will
Right.
actually believe it more now than they believed earlier, because they
It's
can.
not an abstract concept anymore.
That's right. 2 months away from regular life, and you can see the sort of difference it created. How the air became cleaner, the sky became bluer, and there was water in the Yamuna, and it was just 2 months. When climate folks turn around and talk about the impact of climate change, it will not be difficult to understand. And therefore, I expect that there will be acceleration in the pace of work going forward.
We look up to big organizations like Mahindra, and you taking the lead will inspire a lot of the people in the industry to follow suit.
I hope people do follow suit. It is a very large problem, and we will only be able to tackle climate change if all of us work together on it.
So thank you so much for this conversation. It was an absolute learning, and we got a little peek into what Mahindra stands for and what Mahindra is up to.
You're welcome, Pratyusha. Thank you for having me.